Good morning, traders. Happy Sunday. It's Sunday setup time. And if you're new to this channel, every Sunday I go through all 28 currency pairs that we trade here at Allen FX. And we plot support and resistance zones on a daily chart. Now, I do call them bearish. I do call them bullish because that's where the probabilities lie. But doesn't mean we just jump right into a sell trade if we hit resistance or same on support. What we do is we kind of look at those areas, or not kind of, we do, as inflection points where price is going to react. It's going to do something. It's either going to bounce or it's going to shoot through that level, and that's where we're going to want to jump on it. I also use pivot points for this. It's a standard indicator. I get a lot of questions. Oh my God, where do you get this indicator? Where do you get this? Where'd you get this methodology, or where'd you get this strategy? Well, guys, it's not really a strategy, okay? It's just inflection points, support, resistance, pivot points, math, okay? I use support resistance on the daily to find where I want to be in a long term, where these long-term levels are. And then I use pivot points on smaller time frames to kind of tell me, give me a directional guide between those points. So I use smaller time frames and I use price action usually for my entries. But if you want to learn more about my strategies and to copy my trades manually, head on over to allenfx.com. It's right. I got links right below. You can take my 1% Club courses, or you can just jump on into the Journeyman Signal Service, and you get hour-long training every week. Every Thursday, I do a live training event, and then you can copy my trades. We're in a little bit of an adjustment period right now. We had some great survey results last week. So I'm changing a few things up in that channel. So now's the perfect time to jump in there and start learning how to trade and start putting some profitable trades on yourself. All right, let's not waste any more time, guys. Let's jump on the charts. All right, so I always go top down, alphabetical order. You don't have to, but I do. And guys, if you're new to this channel, I use TradingView charts. I do have the paid one. You don't need to get the paid one. There's just a few extra things you get when you get the paid one. I don't want to run through the whole list, but generally you could do some pretty good damage with the free one. And the paid one, the only thing reason why I upgraded is I like to put links on my profile, which use it a little bit more as marketing material. But just the trade, you don't need it because you don't need 100 indicators on your charts anyways. All right, let's see what's going on. So we got our you can definitely tell we've reversed here. We kind of broke above it. We broke above it. And if I zoom out, it's right at this former high that we are targeting, and you can see we got a really good inflection zone there. Haven't busted through it yet. And then here on the smaller time frame, you can see last week we corralled it, and we could have took a good buy trade push up there, and then actually a pretty good sell trade once we saw it break. And this week, because I see this double top, I want to probably be bearish from this point. I like that push down to that S2. And guys, I like to put these prediction arrows on right where price is at the point. So Wednesday, I could come back to this larger picture view and see if we're moving right. I'm just not patient enough trader, guys. I'll just be honest. I'm not patient enough trader to just plant a sell and go through the pain and torment, because it might shoot back up and test the zone for another couple weeks now before we get that big drop. And I just don't want to be stuck. So that's why I use smaller time frame, more zeroed in strategies. But overall, I want to be bearish this pair, or I think I want to be bearish this pair. But we are testing that yellow level, so it could just bounce back and be that retest of that level to shoot up. All right, enough talking. Let's get on them. Let's get some stuff done here. All right, so we got our bullish zone all the way down here. Let's see if I still like where it's at. Yeah, we have it there. We broke above the 200 EMA, and we haven't broke below it. So I'm kind of going to move. I'm going to move this up only because, guys, you out there, this is all panic COVID levels, okay? So normally technical trading, we look for these levels, but this is I'm not going to use the word, but this is where price went when we were going through something that's never happened before, or at least not in recorded financial history. So this is anomaly candles, okay? Anomaly candles. So that's where I kind of want to come back to. Okay, this was pre-COVID. This was right before COVID. So, you know, let's kind of look at this area as our bullish area. All right, that's my logic there. If you got any questions or comments, I'd love to hear from you guys. But that's my logic. I want to see a pre-COVID level. Now that we're kind of coming back. Now, if we bust way down below this because we got a lot of fundamental COVID nightmare coming back, man, these levels are going to be very handy. So, but right now, I want to kind of go in between these 2 points. You can see I have smaller inflection points to kind of corral price. And you can see we busted through. We busted through. We didn't go very far, and then we came back down. So I might be looking for that buy trade off this bottom. That's not a bad way to go. So, you know, I'm going to put my prediction arrow off the bottom, and then I'm going to look for that good push up. If we break below, my next level would be this bullish zone to sell down to. All right, Australian dollar, JPY. Let's get rid of all these little smaller time frame. I will say, guys, I'm testing out some new stuff. So my charts are a little sloppy this week because I didn't clean them up after I was testing them out. So I got a lot of these alerts on here at these inflection points, and you can see kind of now we've double topped. You can see there's a sell trade for 44 pips on there. We didn't quite perfect double top, and if you go back far enough, it's almost a triple top. So one thing that I want to do here is not get too crazy until we see a trend line break of that sorts, because we still may get that push to triple top or test this area. So I don't want to get too happy and be like, I mean, we missed it. If we were looking at a smaller time frame, well, we didn't miss it because you saw the trade we had on there. But if technically where we're at now, it's not a good place to sell unless we break that level. So I'll be watching this, what we do at that level. Let me put my prediction arrow. I'm going to go up if we bounce. You know, wait for that if we break it. ADNZD. All right, guys, we are right at this one. I'm going to keep red. I'm not messing with my colors, all right, am I? This one I'm going to keep red because we want to see. You can see this arrow here. I was looking for that test of the top. We're at the test of the top, and we're either going to bust through it or we're going to bounce nicely, and we're going to have a trade either way from that confirmation move. So we're going to look at that right away. Looks like we're testing the bearish zone right now, and we've started to respect it, right? Look at that big push off. Busted through that inflection zone, busted past that line on that smaller. So, again, what's this trend line telling us? the trend line's telling us we're still bullish. Okay? I know I don't draw trend lines that often because I can just see them, but we have to be careful. We're still bullish, technically. Lots of divergence. Divergence posting on a daily, guys, really tells you something's coming. Okay? If history repeats itself, we are looking for that strong push. I think this pivot right here is a great target if we break that trend line. I'm gonna call that one red because we're at the trend line. And USD, after a good jobs report last week, I think USD is going to have a pretty good week. All right, so I'm bearish all the way down here, and here's why. Bullish run, touched the 200 EMA. We broke a trend line, okay? And then now we've been bearish. So then when we broke this level right here and retested it and went strong bearish again, this is my new bearish zone. You can see we had a trade on our journeyman channel that I hadn't cleaned out yet. It was profitable. And now we broke that little inflection point. So I guarantee if we did a Fibonacci off of this move, yep, we hit the 618, and now we're looking for that extension. So if you're a position trader, this is one in play right now. This one is in play at least down to this bullish zone, which I don't know why. Let's just clone this. And let's change this to bullish. There we go. Now we got everything on there. All right. I'm going to make that one red. Canadian dollar JPY. So we got our bearish zone up here because of this turn. We could probably pull it down. I like to kind of go where the bodies were. This kind of noisy. And then we touched here. So now we're on our way back down. Now you can see, yes. We made a quick run to the pivot and we pulled back. So where I was looking to get a little bit bigger push right there, we didn't get it. We stalled out on the 200 EMA, but we hit this pivot and bounced back. So I'm going to look for some sort of double bottom at that pivot before I really think long. But if we break, I'm going to use this pivot as that midway inflection zone on this. It's basically a monthly pivot. And if we bust below that monthly pivot, I'm going to be short down to my bullish zone. If we bounce, I'll look long on my shorter time frame type trades. Okay, so here we're still in an uptrend on Swiss franc JPY. Our bearish zone's a little bit still far away up here at this R2. Usually just put it up. No, we got all the way back September. We shot up there. We're starting to show divergence. And let's get rid of that trend line because it's kind of useless now. If we want to draw a good trend line. You know what, guys? I want to show you a quick trick. If you're struggling drawing trend lines, or you're constantly, you know how to draw one, but you're constantly going, well, the only reason why a trend line would actually work is if we all draw them the same, and once price breaks that level, all of us bears would be jumping on. So we all kind of have to have the same level. If you want to kind of cheat, right? See how I drew this trend line on this point and this point? Well, these are Rinko charts. Okay, and Rinko charts, hopefully I'm saying that right, Rinko charts kind of drowned out sporadic noise. So you could draw, if you draw the trend line on that and then go back to your candlesticks, you will kind of see, you'll see what we're talking about. right? See how it kind of just drowns out the noise? It definitely looks different, but I've been drawing my trend lines with those Rinko charts as a really good reference point. Not so much for a trend line break, because trend line break in true fashion would be this, but this one just kind of average out that like obvious still strong, and if you use it kind of as a midway point, their price is just kind of steadily going up. Right? As a reversal trader, I'm not necessarily looking for support off this trend line. What I'm waiting for is an early break of where we're breaking off. And because I have my inflection point, I'm going to zero in on this area right here. Okay? Just a quick little tidbit of information. So, I'm going to be long this pair until we get up here. I mean, there's really no reason to think short yet, other than we have divergence posting, Knoxville divergence, if you're wondering. But my good old buddy Rob Booker, his indicator. I need to change the settings on that. We don't need 151 back. Let's just do 31. That changes things, guys. See right here, it's a little more sharper. That's why we had so much divergence on our charts. Had the wrong setting in. All right, Euro AUD, good old Euro AUD. This was a busy pair last week with my short-term trading. As you can see, plotted quite a few levels on here. And they worked out quite well, by the way. You can see there's a short trade right on that. Had a great week in the Journeyman Signal Service. Very profitable. Basically, I'm trying to rebuild it after blowing up that small account. And, what I'm trying to do is provide training on every trade we take. So it's a lot of work, but I do a recording. I say, look, I try to do a recording a little bit before we take the trade. I call that a trade in play. And then once we take the trade, it's pretty easy because you watch the video on why we're taking that trade. And then when the price action shows us and we got to get in it, I just take a photo with the trade levels and all of the fun stuff there. All right, so we have two really good inflection zones that we're playing off. So, until we bust considerably up above it or considerably below it, I'm going to keep selling off of this and buying off of that until I'm proved otherwise. Okay? I actually feel like because our back's against this bearish level and this 200 EMA, we're probably going to wait for that test and look for that good drop. We did not touch the pivot last week, so we might just get there this week. Euro Swiss franc. Same thing. We're in between two really good inflection points. Euro GBP, going to look for that bounce off of that or a break through it. Euro JPY, and I'm speeding things up, guys, because I don't want these videos to be too long, and I know how I could be blabbing. Here's a bullish zone for us. Oh, move things over. Here's the bullish zone because it was former resistance. Now I'm looking for, if price bounces off it, it's going to make that move we want up there. Come on over, bearish zone. There we go. Euro NZD. So kind of starting to see this momentum. We're seeing this the momentum kind of fade on this. So we're going to look for that pullback up. I mean, if we put our Fibonacci on, we stalled out at the 236. So now we're just kind of consolidating between 0 and 236. So we can easily play smaller time frame buys and sells till we break through one of those levels. And then if we break down, we're going to want to pick one of these levels. If it comes all the way down to the 200 EMA, be a great place to look for that extension up. So we'll keep our eye on these levels. Yeah, it's already red. Euro, US dollar. All right. Finally the bears get a break on this puppy. So this is my bullish zone. Let's get rid of this old thing. You know, I'm not going to be really bullish till here, but I do think we're going to be pretty bearish back down to it. So I'm going to look for sells this week on this pair, especially if we break this little level right here. Let's make that yellow. My make or break zone, which we're testing right now. So, yeah, I'll probably zero that in a little bit off of smaller time frame, but I want to turn this one red. This could be a big trade. The dollar coming back a little bit. I'm going to want to see this break above, test this area, and then we'll get really short. But if not, I'm going to play in between those two inflection zones. Oh, it's orange. GBP AUD. All right, I have my bullish zone down here. We got some matching daily candles right around the pivot. So, you know, price, there's really no big direction. If we do a Fibonacci, we're right around 382. So, if we move up from here, which isn't bad to be long to there, then I'm going to wait and see. But I'll keep playing buys and sells off those two zones off those higher time frames. Again, CAD, Canadian dollar. We might get a retest of that top, which would be wonderful for us to start looking for a sell opportunity. British pound, Swiss franc. We're just sitting right in the middle of nowhere land, hugging that pivot. We broke above this level and instantly came back and didn't strongly break above. So there's just no real clear play off the daily. So you can trade either way on that smaller time frame. British pound, I'm waiting for this break of this level, and we got a lot of good downside potential on this pair. But the British pound is just, it's been pretty bullish against all pairs. And, you know, British pound JPY is not a long-term pair to trade anyways, guys. This one's known for its volatility, and it's fun to trade, scalp trade. It's one of the ones most scalp traders like to. What happened there? That was cool. Let's see if I can do that again. No, I guess not. GBP USD. Again, I'm playing off these two inflection points. You can see a lot of these little levels in there from that smaller trade. But I really want to see it break. You know, I'm going to buy off that and sell off that on smaller time frames until I see a break. We do have divergence with our new settings posting on the daily. So probabilities would tell me we're going to break. That pivot is a great target. We're going to see some sort of bearish move come. Not right away. We may get another push, but it's coming. GBP NZD. Let's get rid of you. I want to be bearish out of the gate here. Or if we break above that level, got a lot of upside potential. You can see from my last Sunday, we were down here and we moved up. So got our make or break zone in the middle. Let's go ahead and clean these up. There we go. All right, NZD C80. Looks like we had a pretty failed breakout trade there. We should be long, and then we broke back down to retest this inflection zone. So we're kind of in no man's land now, right? I think our bearish should probably be up here. Let's just call that. I like that. And then bullish. I like that. We're going to play in between these two areas. Probably should put that at the top part. There we go. Because we have a more recent turn there. So I'm going to be bullish or bearish off these levels. There you are. Any other ones? Let's go ahead and clone that. Get you up there and make sure you say the right thing. All right, there's our levels on NZD CAD. Is this one red? Yes. NZD CHF. All right, so we're getting close to our bullish zone. We broke through this little inflection point, so you can see we had that sell trade on there. So I'm gonna be bearish till we get down to this area, and then I'm gonna see what happens there. NZD JPY kind of got price stuck in between these two zones on a smaller time frame. Go ahead and clone. I don't know what keeps happening to my writing, but we are above the 200 EMA, so I'm going to kind of use that 200 EMA as my midway point if we break below as that profit target on that smaller sell. But I'm not going to really be getting crazy buyer until we drop below the 200 EMA. We make an attempt at this former resistance level. NZD, USD, again, we are catching really good trades in between these two zones, but our back's up against our bearish zone. So overall, be great to catch that move to the downside there. USD, CAD, everyone's favorite pair here. Got some bullish moves off the bottom here. And you can see there's a really good bullish trade. But I'd be careful here, right? Go back to our trend lines. I wouldn't get crazy bullish till we see a good break of this trend line. Till we see a really good break of this trend line, we have to respect up here. I actually think before we get that big of a push, we might actually get down to this level or test that level again before we get that move. USD CHF, again, not as bullish off the bottom. You can see this trend line I have on here looking for that retest. However, you can see we've double bottomed. So that kind of tells me, gives price permission now to come shooting up. USD JPY, you can see we had a good bullish trade, and then we had a bearish trade early in the week that went well, and then we got bullish off that inflection zone, and you can see it's working out. But we're sandwiched between that zone and the pivot, so I'm going to use those two levels on a smaller time frame to give me a direction on an intraday or intraday move. But until we break one of those levels, we don't really have a direction big time. And because the USD had a good bullish Friday, we may have a bullish week on the USD, or maybe all this stimulus drama may still hold the dollar down. And I will say, it feels like they're going to do whatever they can to keep equities from faltering, and the dollar will just continue to keep hurting the more money we print. Let's take a good look at the USD Mexican peso. We got a really good bearish spot. It's stalled out perfectly at the pivot, so we're going to have to see. It's going to have to give us more before we know what we would do here. Yeah. So that concludes this week's Sunday setups. If you guys enjoyed it, please leave comments below. Let me know you're listening. Let me know you're out there. Don't forget to hit subscribe here on YouTube to get my Sunday setups, my midweek review on Wednesdays. I do kind of the same thing. We check in to see where price is at that time from these levels. And then, guys, if you want to copy my trades, if you want to see these signals manually with a video of why I'm taking them, jump on over to allenfx.com, sign up for the Journeyman Signal Service. It's $20 a month for an hour-long training every week, and to get highly probable signals that, last week turned out to be pretty dang profitable. And these signals are coming from my own live accounts. So I have my own money on these trades. And if you're interested in taking my 1% Club courses, you can find those at allenfx.com as well. I am getting some great feedback on those courses, and they're designed to take someone who's never traded a day before in their life and be fully automated in as little as 6 weeks, guys. And guess what? I'm offering a money-back guarantee. So if you take it, you set up a meeting with me, and you just really didn't find value, and you give me some good, honest feedback, I'll give you your money back, guys. I'm that's the kind of person I am. If you give me some good, honest feedback of why you didn't get any value out of it, I'll give you your money back, and then I'll go and change the courses. All right, guys, have a great Sunday. Have a great week. The week after non-farm payroll is always pretty good if it really good fundamental news, which it was, and the dollar's been so weak. It may be a really good week to run on the dollar, or price is going to revert back from that positive push we had on Friday, and we want to catch those as well. All right, have a great week, and let's go make some money together. Over and out.